No, I'm not opening my door.
Why not?
Because I don't want you bothering me. I have 4 stories for you today about my celebrity or really well-known person encounters. And the 4 stories are the 4 different events that I have been to. So, story 1 occurred in October 2011. I met Joe Moses from Team Starkid when I attended one of his Joe Moses one-man shows, recently renamed to the Joe Moses shows, but still referred to as J-Moms. So it was right after school. My dad had come and picked me and my friend up, and we left and drove to the city. We were there like 4 hours before the show started, which was really great. So we went to the pit, we went backstage because we were there so early. It was great. And then we waited online and we made some friends. Somehow there were people in front of us even though we were there before them. The show itself was amazing and flawless, and Joe was hilarious and the master of improv. But then after the show, he had everyone meet him outside and line up and wait to talk to him. So my friends and I, being as smart as we were, decided if we went to the back, we'd have more time to talk to him, considering we would be the last ones. We were right. We hung out with Joe for like 10 minutes. It was great. We took pictures, talked about random things. He signed stuff for us, like my ticket, for example. And it was just an amazing, amazing day. It was one of the best days of my life, and Joe was one of the first considered famous people that I had met, and it was just really exciting for me.
And it's gonna be totally awesome. I'll cast some spells with a flick of my wand. Defeat the dark arts, yeah, bring it on. And to
Story number 2, June 10th, 2012. The best night of my life. So it's like 2 o'clock. My friend, the same one from J-Moms, and I leave to go to New York. Her dad brings us this time. Being that it was a Starkids show, the line had already wrapped around the building once, and we had friends that had been waiting there since 6 in the morning, and because they had VIP tickets, they gave us their spots at the front of the line. And so we were at the front of the line, you know, chilling. Then it was time to go in. A bunch of people decided that they wanted to buy merch before the show, so they did. We ran right into the venue, and we weaved our way in front of all the VIP people. How we got there, I don't know. There were VIP people around us asking how we got up all the way to the front. So there's the gate, the people against the gate, then us and others. So somehow, having general admission tickets, we ended up right at the front in front of all the other VIP and general admission people. So pretty goddamn awesome. 7 o'clock, the show started. It was amazing. Then 8 o'clock rolls around, and you know, it's the middle of June. For some reason, the AC was turned off. They wouldn't allow any food or drink into the venue. And, you know, because we got online at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it had been 5 hours since I had eaten or drinking anything. Maybe even before that, because I didn't eat or drink until a little before I had left to go. So, due to the heat, the claustrophobia, I guess, had some part of it, the excitement, the malnourishment, I passed out. I was in the middle of the concert. Just passed out. Fainted, lost consciousness. But, you know, then I regained consciousness from the EMTs giving me water and rubbing water on my head. And when that happened, I look up, and oh look, there's a wild Dylan Saunders staring at me. "Are you okay?" he says. "Yeah, I'm fine," I reply. "Good. How about a high five?" I'm surprised I didn't break down in tears right then from high-fiving Dylan Saunders and touching his hand. I'm surprised I've washed my hand since that day. Then I turn around and I see Lauren Lopez talking to my friend about my health and safety and well-being. And that was when I realized that the security guard that had pulled me out of the crowd when I fainted had brought me backstage. I did not have a VIP ticket, and I was backstage. And I had just touched Dylan Saunders' hand, and Lauren Lopez was talking to my friend. So Lauren Lopez walks away, and the EMT was like, "I don't want you going back into the crowd because that's sort of unsafe. So we are going to bring you to the side stage." And I was like, You mean the side stage that they walk on and off and on and off for each of their numbers?" That was the side stage I was going to stand next to. So anyway, I turn around again, and I see in the way to get to the side stage is one Joe Walker and Darren Chris having a conversation just a few feet away from me. And I turn to my friend, and we have this silent conversation through our facial expressions. And the EMT, I guess she noticed, because she's like, "Oh, do you need me to walk you two over there?" Yeah, you do. We kind of cannot really just casually stroll past Joe Walker and Darren Chris. It doesn't work like that. So she leads us away. We weren't expecting this, so we weren't actually going to even say anything to Joe or Darren. But as we tried to scoot past them in this narrow, it wasn't a hallway. There were these two steps and railings, and Joe and Darren were at the base of the two steps, and my friend and I had to squeeze through the two railings and move past Joe and Darren as inconspicuous as possible. But of course, as we mosey on down the two steps, Darren Chris steps in our way and goes, "Hi guys, you should drink water and stay hydrated. We don't want you missing the show. What's your name?" "Erin." "Hi Erin, I'm Darren." Like, no fucking shit. We know who the hell you are, you dumbass. You don't need to introduce yourselves. "And what's your name?" "Lindsay." "Hi Lindsay, it's nice to meet you. I'm Darren Chris." "Yeah, obviously I know who the fuck you are. You just introduced yourself to my friend, and had I not even known who you were before you introduced yourself to my friend, I would have certainly known then." We had a short conversation with him that ended in hugs, but he was like, "Oh, sorry, we can't take pictures. The show is going on. Come back after the show, and we'll gladly hook you up with some selfies." So my friend and I then follow the EMT to the side stage, where we start fangirling because we had just met a small number, but still a number, of Team Starkid, who we are both very, very obsessed with. My friend falls into a wall when we start crying. We start fangirling about Darren's sweat and his hair and his hugs. And who's sitting in a chair behind us but none other than Mama Chris. Embarrassing right now. Like, as we were walking there, my brain realized that there was an Asian woman sitting in a chair right there, but I didn't really connect that it would be Darren Chris's mother. So she heard us fangirling about her son. She also experienced my friend falling into a wall because of him. Yeah, so that happened. I embarrassed myself in front of Darren Chris's mother, the one who birthed him. Anyway, so we spent the rest of the concert there. We didn't really have a good view of the concert, but after that we weren't really paying much attention to it anyway. More attention to what was going on backstage. And I kind of regret that. But at the same time, I don't blame myself, because how was I supposed to concentrate on the concert? Then after the concert, we weren't allowed to go back and take pictures like Darren promised us. The security guard ushered us out the other way through a different exit, and it was just really depressing. But I did get a video of the interaction with Darren, because as I was disoriented from passing out, and I realized that Darren, Chris, and Joe Walker were standing right there, I decided to click the record button on my video camera to record the encounter. That is the only proof I have of the events that happened that night happening. I do know that they happened, and no one can convince me otherwise, even myself, because sometimes I find myself believing it didn't actually happen, but I know it did. So, hands down, that was the best night of my life. Here's a 20-second clip of me talking to Darren Chris.
Hi! You're crying.
Don't. Make sure you hydrate. What's your name?
Erin.
Hi, Aaron. Darren.
Hi. Lindsay.
Hi, Lindsay. Make sure you guys get hydrated and get back out there, because you're gonna miss the show, okay?
Yeah.
Of course, Tom.
Oh my god.
We're really sweaty. We're kind of in the middle of the show.
It's okay. I'm sweaty
If you don't mind, if no pictures, we just want to stay.
Yeah. Thank you.
I've also seen some things that happened backstage that no one else saw. One thing that sounds completely made up, but I swear to God actually did happen, was Joey Richter was laying on a table, and Brian Holden and Brian Rosenthal were standing on either side of that table and were juggling microphones over Joey Richter's horizontal body. I swear to God that happened backstage. I am not making it up. Best night of my life.